all yours.
Hey, thank you, Lion Candice. um, Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Secretaries training. Are you all hearing me clearly? Just show by a raise of hand.
Yes, we are, Lion Linda.
Okay, excellent. All right, so it's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to be able to do this session with you all this evening. And I am grateful that you all took the time to be here, so we would not waste any time because I know you all would have had a very long day. But before we do that, let us unwind a little bit because I know how it can be during the day with everything that we have to do. So I would like you all to get a piece of paper. Well, you still have paper, you're in a training, and you probably want to make some notes. So let's get a sheet of paper and a pencil or a pen, whichever one. And I want you to think back to Sesame Street or maybe the Muppet Show. I am sure you'll remember Miss Piggy. Yes? No, it feels weird when I don't get the interaction, but that's okay. I will picture you all smiling, thinking about Miss Piggy. So what I would like you to do is I would like you to draw from your visual. It could be a stick drawing. I want you to draw a pig on your paper. So a blank sheet of paper, I'm going to give you, because we're on a time limit, so I'm going to give you 3 minutes, 3 to 4 minutes to do your sketch of your pig. Everybody okay with that?
Yes,
And,
Lion Linda.
right, good. So I am hoping that we
what
can...
did you say to draw?
A pig.
Oh, a pig.
Yes, just draw a pig on your paper. Okay, so 3 to 4 minutes. So just imagine you are probably in a sip and draw activity. You probably have your water next to you or a cup of coffee or whatever you're having right now while you're listening to the presentation or while you're getting ready to listen to the presentation. So, and you're going to draw while you're sipping. So I'll give you all a 3-4 minutes. And then I would like at least, Lan Candice, I'd like at least 3 persons. Pig looking like a someone. Yeah, I'd like at least 3 persons who would be very brave to share their drawing. If you could just turn on your camera and, well, just about 3 or 4. If you can raise your hands. So we just have about 3 or 4 because I know sometimes depending on how many cameras on the bandwidth may not support. So just for us to see these pigs, just to have an idea what these drawings look like. Okay, so I'm going to give you all 2 more minutes. So the purpose, anyway, I will share after. Let me give you all a little moment. Let me give you all a little moment to think through to draw your pig. All right, so Lion Candice, 2 more minutes.
Sure, Lion Linda.
All right, so because I know we on a time limit. Right, so can we get a show of hands, maybe 3 to 5 persons who will be very brave to show the pictures that
we have
their drawings.
Lion Carl Bonkamper, Lion Nandini Narayan, persons there who are willing to share.
Okay, so you can do so. So let's see what you came up with. Show us your paper. Show us your drawing.
Can you see it?
No, I'm not
Lion
seeing.
Carl.
You know, we're seeing a lovely picture of you.
You see?
Okay, hold on, let me.
All right. Oh, that's nice. Okay, yes, I'm seeing it. Bring it a little
Lion,
closer to the
you didn't
camera.
share yours.
All right, love it. Okay, cool.
Okay, let me get
Nice. Can we see another one, please?
shoes.
We have Lion Rudine.
Okay, great.
Good night.
Looking like, okay, great. Like a cross between a pig and a cat. It looks really good. Thank you, Rudine. Any more? Any more brave souls?
Have you been able to see mine in the meantime?
Yes, let's see. Okay.
Are you seeing my own?
Right, yes, I'm seeing, wow, we have some artists in the house. Really nice. Thank you for sharing. So we do have some brave souls. That's really great. I wish if we were in person, this would have been a laugh. So what we did here, so let's see if we can analyze. 1 second. Let's analyze what your drawing says about you. Okay, so the purpose of this is it's called the pig personality test. And the purpose of it is to allow participants, allow you all to have fun and to learn a little bit about yourselves. So let's go. So let's look at where you drew your pig, where you drew your pig on the paper. So if you have drawn your pig on the top of the paper, you have the tendency to be positive and optimistic. If your pig was drawn in the middle of the paper, you have the tendency to be a realist. If your pig is at the bottom of the paper, you have the tendency to be a pessimistic and maybe prone to behaving negatively at times. All right, so far so good. Now let's look at how your pig is facing. So if your pig is facing left on the paper, you have the tendency to believe in tradition and you are very friendly. You're very good at remembering dates. If your pig is facing right on your paper, you're right. You have a tendency to be innovative and you are active. You are prone to forgetting dates very easily and you may have a strong sense of family. If your pig is facing directly in front, so the pig is watching you right now. So you have the tendency to be direct, maybe even playing the devil's advocate at times, and you are prone to neither fearing nor avoiding confrontational discussion. You welcome confrontational discussion. All right, so far so good. Now we just have a bit more. So if your pig has 4 legs, this indicates that you're living through a major period of change, and as a result, you may be prone to a little bit of challenges. Right? Sorry, that is if it's less than 4 legs. All right. So how many of you had your pig with 4 legs? If you had 4 legs, then you have a tendency to be secure and you stick to ideals. And you could be described as a little bit stubborn sometimes. Okay. And the last one, let me see, how many of you did you have ears and a tail on your pig? Did you have large ears? If you had large ears, that means you're a good listener. And the bigger the ears, the better the better you are listening. And last of all, if you had a very long tail, it means that you are intelligent. All right. So the longer the tail, the more intelligent you are. All right. So it's just a little fun thing. Usually, if it's in a physical setting, everybody laugh at the whole thing, and some people will be in agreement, some people will not be, and it's just a whole sort of thing happening when you're doing this type of icebreaker. All right. So thumbs up for the icebreaker or thumbs down. Okay, so let's get right into it. So good evening, fellow lions. And let me just share my screen so we can get started.
While Lion Linda shares the screen, Lion Carl Camper, I notice your hands were being raised several times. Is there a question you wanted to raise?
No, it was just going back to Lion Linda's. Raise your hand if you had big ears or long tails and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay, so this is my pick. My pick. All right. So let's get to it. So this evening, again, good evening, fellow Lions. And I am Lion Linda, and I will attempt to share with you some tips and strategies to get you through the fiscal year 2024-2025 as your club secretary. Well, you being the club secretary. So do you know how important your role as secretary is? You are one of the most important persons in your club, if not the most important. As the club secretary, you keep the club running efficiently. You provide important support for all business operations for the club and board of director meetings. You maintain the club roster and member contact information, as well as support the club service and social activities. You can help your club earn the Club Excellence Award for your fiscal year as secretary. So this evening we will attempt. Now I am saying attempt because I always say Lions, no matter with whom I am dialoguing or discussing or presenting. I have a wealth of information, but I don't know everything. And I am quite open to hear other points of view, depending, so that we can all learn from each other. All right. Now, what I have discovered with Lionism, since I am a lion, is that the information changes very fast and furious. And most of it remain the same with regard to protocols and club policy and so on. But there are many changes that we see from time to time. And that's one thing that I like. I like the dynamics of Lionism. You know, everything is not static, but you know, we get that dynamic feel of different things to come. So this evening we are going to look at the qualities. So let me move this out of the way. It's in my way right now. Right. So we're going to look at the responsibilities of the club secretary. We're going to look at the overview of the new Lions portal, and we're going to look at some resources. So you are the key person to help your club achieve the Club Excellence Award, which we will talk about more later on. So what qualities do you think you would need as a secretary to be successful in your year? What are some of the qualities of an efficient secretary? You can put it in your chat so that we can see some of your qualities. Now, Candice, I'm not able to see the chat.
They're now coming in line, Linda. We have timeliness.
Okay, great.
They're now waking up.
I thought the pig would have woken them up, man.
Organization, dedication and time, writing and reporting skills, very important. Patience. Always have to have a lot of patience. Very valuable point there. We're raising for some more.
Okay,
Being punctual, credible, efficient, organization, being a good listener, being approachable. Love that one. Attention to details, accuracy. Great listener is one trending. Understanding, being committed, good communicator.
Right, excellent. So therefore, we don't need this presentation then. We understand already. But let's get into it. So yes, you all were able to make some list, and I do have some of those similar qualities on my list. Communication skills, and again, very effective verbal and written. Even non-verbal, because we have to watch sometimes how we come across just by looking at others, just by, our demeanor and so on. Time management and prioritization. So balancing. So what you see happening now, I'm going to speak to my experience so far because this is the first time I am the secretary for my club. And it is indeed important that we learn to balance our personal, professional, and our lionistic life, our life as a lion. So as the club secretary, you will have to implement a system, a system of organizing. All that you have to do is very, very important. All right, to make sure you cover all the responsibilities that you will have for this lion year. Paying attention to details, right? Managing with multiple requests at a time. Sometimes it feels overwhelming. You have so many, because remember, our medium of communication is not only via email, it is also in our WhatsApp group. It's also when we have our physical meetings. All right, so we will be getting multiple requests from various groups. All right, and we have to look at paperwork and meeting deadlines. Interpersonal skills, very important. Maintaining respect at all time for club members and for whomever you would meet or come into contact. Because remember, as in being in Lionism, you are going to meet many stakeholders from time to time. You are going to be interacting with various people. And you need to have that interpersonal skill, as well as you need to be approachable, and someone would have said it already. You need to be a team player. You will be liaising with your president, you'll be liaising with the different committee members or chairpersons rather. You will be liaising with the zone chair, the region chair. So being a team player is very, very important. You need to have computer skills. Now, even if you don't, I always say learning is lifelong. All right. And while we are alive, we can learn, and we can get the skills that we need. Because right now, because of the new Lions portal, I feel a little bit anxious about it, because I started going through it, trying to upload different information, and I realized I still have a lot to learn. So we every single day we will have to learn something new. So don't feel intimidated by the computer skills at all. Adaptability, very, very important. It's very important that we learn to be flexible when we are the club secretary, because sometimes things may come up. You may have to prioritize certain things depending on what is happening, depending on what information is needed. Or like, for instance, last year I would have had a situation in my life, and I had to find ways to make sure the club ran smoothly. So I would have had to interact with some of my teammates to get them to make sure that the secretarial duties went on and the club was running efficiently. So adapting, being flexible in terms of the things that you have to do is very important. And the last one I have here is staying calm under pressure. So we have to learn when to cope with the stress, cope with the deadlines. We have to breathe. Because remember, we have so much things going on in our life, and we have to breathe. We have to do some deep breathing. We have to make time for ourselves so that we can always remain calm. That's very important. So let's begin looking at some of our responsibilities. So again, you are the link, you are the connector, you are the backbone. As his club secretary, you are all those things, because remember, you are liaising with your multiple district team, Lions Club, and your club, your home club. And the club's membership and service reports are important so that everyone knows what your club is doing. Plus, it's important that you keep your club knowledgeable, keep your club members always in the know about what is happening in the district and internationally. Remind members about upcoming service activities, fundraisers, webinars, etc. So you are the key, the center key for your club. You are also a member of the district governor advisory team. So you and your president will be working very closely with your zone and your region chair. Okay, so responsibilities continued. Now, what you will see this evening, fellow Lions, is that most of the information will be surrounding your responsibilities. Okay, so the first section of the presentation is mainly to do with your responsibilities. So as the secretary, you should prepare yourself to attend all your club meetings, both your regular and your board of members meeting. All right, it's expected that you will be there so that you could help the president to manage with the meeting. If for some reason, just like I stated to you before, I had a situation last year, and you have to, this is where your team player skills come in, this is where your interpersonal skills come in. You have to liaise with your club and get maybe the previous secretary or somebody who would have done secretarial duties before in the club and ask them to hold on for you, and you all collaborate to make sure things get done. Now use the Roberts Rules of Order to help your meetings to run smoothly. Roberts Rules of Order basically is a standard of codes and ethics, rules of ethics rather, for facilitating discussions and decision making. Because you know, sometimes some of us, we can become very passionate about our point of view. And sometimes, you know, a lot of craziness could happen during the meetings. Who don't like this, who said this and whatever, and the meeting could go out of hand very quickly. So we always have to, as the secretary, sometimes you have to be the mediator, and you have to try and keep that calm and remind members of the code of ethics, remind members how they should behave during a meeting, and to try and keep the calm in the meeting. Okay, and so the Roberts Rules of Order, if you probably are now hearing it for the first time, you know, just Google it, do some research on it, and just have some more information about it, okay? So one of the things you also have to do is you have to help your president compile meeting agendas. All right, so you all just before your meeting. So what I usually do for my club, I would usually do a monthly save the dates or a monthly schedule of what is to happen in the club for that month. So the president and I would have decided on meeting dates. So we would know when is our regular meeting, when is our board of directors meeting, and we would share this information with club members so they know which dates we will be on. And so if you receive information from your district, or a lot of information would come in your WhatsApp group, from your zone and your region, or maybe via email from the district governor. So some of the information you can share via email, right? And then some of it you can forward directly in your WhatsApp group. Now, what I like about our club is that what we would have done is we created 2 WhatsApp groups. One for, you know, members always want to old talk, send out birthday greetings, you know, all the nice stuff. And you know, all the old talk and stuff. And then we have a group where it's strictly for business. We don't want anything. And if anybody posts anything, of course, as the secretary or the president, you should feel free to let them know, hey, this group is strictly for business information. And so whenever I get information from the zone, or I would share it one time, or I would remind members, hey, check your email, I would have sent an important document for you to peruse. All right. So if you have any visitors, or you're going to have guests at that meeting, so this is what your agenda is about, to make sure that when you set your agenda, your club members, and share the agenda with your club members so they will know what will be happening at the meeting. All right. Many correspondents from your zone chair and the district will flood your emails. As I said that, this is where your time management and your organizational skills step in. Now, reply to the sender as soon as you can. I have been a little delinquent with that sometimes, but I do get the information across, you know, because sometimes it's so much. And if it's information that the district requires, you know, and if you can't get the information to them right away, send an email or response stating that you will get back to them. all right, with the information, and make note of deadlines. So you need to have like a book. Maybe I like hard copy still, so I would have a notebook for everything pertaining to secretary duties, my to-do list, whatever I need to get done so that I can meet the deadline. So that's a good idea to have your little notebook to make sure you can check back and make sure you get what you have to get done. All right. Now, even though you get correspondence, don't take it for granted that the president would have received it. So whatever you get, still liaise with your president and let him or her know that you received this correspondence. Did he get it? All right. Now, what you could probably do, because of the hectic lifestyle that some of us have, it's very important that maybe you set a time during the week where you deal with Lions duties. All right, so if it is, I'm mostly a night person, so I would schedule maybe like a 30 minutes, an hour in the night just to get my to-do list, get stuff done. I may do some every other day, or, it depends on my schedule. All right, group your correspondence so that as you get your email, within your email, I'm sure you'll realize you could create folders and you could put your emails into those folders. So you could always go back to the folders, label your folders so that you remember what came from the zone chair, what came from the district governor, what came from Lions, so, and have if it's information for your committee chair, if it's your minutes that you would have sent out, whatever it is, create folders, and that will help you to keep organized. Now, when you're responding to your emails, it's important that you use a business style format, all right? And even though you're not speaking, still watch your tone when you write your words, because sometimes we still could get some tone coming across from the information that is on the page. So be mindful of that, right? Keep members updated at all times. Make sure that your club members, they cannot say, well, Lions Secretary, you didn't send that information, I have no idea. Don't let anybody have to say that about you. As fast as you're getting the information, try and forward it to them in the best way possible. All right. What I am not sure, well, for me, I don't just like forwarding emails. Sometimes I do, sometimes I would try to copy and paste and start a proper email stating that this information came from whomever it came from, and please note, because sometimes I don't know, you want to make sure that members see the exact message and they get the pertinent points that you need them to get. All right, be aware the Lion portal serves as your main resource to ensure that the club roster is always accurate, that your listing is always accurate, and your members' contact information is kept accurate. So that's something you need to do. Even though you're going to do a handover with your current secretary, make sure when you start the ball rolling, still ask members, are you receiving emails from Lions International? Are you receiving my emails? Are you getting all information? So just to make sure that all the contact information you have is current and it is correct. All right, now pay attention to membership types. Now, all of this will come in your resource. If you haven't looked it through as yet, that is the Secretary's ebook. All of this will be there and you can go back and take a read. All right, so you need to be aware of the different membership that is available, membership types and the categories. And so with that, when it comes to dues are based on the combination of membership type and membership category, which affect the international club level dues, because they are family, where you could group people into family, or Leos, or Leos to Lions. There are different groups, so be aware of that. And always ensure that your membership is updated on the Lions platform. Because when it's time for dues, if you did not drop a member or you didn't remove a member because the member was dropped, that's not their fault. You have to be, as the secretary, make sure you drop that member. And we will talk about that a little bit later. So turn over all your records to the incoming secretary. You're going to have to make some time current secretary to meet with the incoming secretary and share some information and make sure that they are ready for their year. So some more information. Right, 1 second. Right, so work with your club treasurer to issue semi-annual dues statements to all your members. And also what you have to do now as the secretary, even though we have the service chairperson, the membership chairperson, you have your first vice president, you have key persons to help you with certain functions of the club. But still as the secretary, you have to liaise with these persons and make sure that certain things are getting done. Because remember, what would happen is that when the correspondence come, they're going to come to the secretary or president to find out, were dues paid? Was this paid? Did this happen? Did you do this? And so you will have to liaise with certain members, key members of the club, to ensure that these things would have been done. All right, so submit new Lions information to Lions Club International. So if you have new Lions, so you would have inducted new Lions into your club, ensure that that information is recorded, right? So make sure all club members, the new ones especially, would be receiving all correspondence from Lions International. Work on your club's website or media pages if you have. Again, this would be the responsibility of your marketing person. But again, as the secretary, you can assist as much as you can or able to. All right, ordering club supplies, that is another responsibility of the secretary, and submitting incoming officers for the upcoming year, especially for training purposes like these. So as soon as election is over and the members are elected, so what you need to do as the secretary, you have a time and you should do it before April ends. Although I did it early May because that would have been because the new Lions portal was coming on stream. All right, and you know, you have to try and figure out to maneuver the portal. So, but try to put in the incoming officers in, try and get that information in. All right, so that for the district purposes, you know, in case they want to look up members, that what role they're playing for that current Lions here. Okay, we good so far. Processing newly recruited members. So again, you're working with your club membership chairperson. And when new members join the club, the membership chairperson will assist the member in selecting the membership category, etc. So you now will take this information and upload it. It's important to be aware again, as I said, about the different membership types, whether it's affiliate status. Well, all members will be active, but there are different categories, affiliate, privilege, etc. And of course, you can read about that from your club handbook. And so we're moving right along. Candace, any questions so far, or are we good?
We're good, Lion Linda. No questions so far.
Okay.
Oh, wait, Lion Linda. We have a raised hand from Lion Maureen Giddens.
Okay.
Lion Maureen, is there a question?
Yes, Lion Linda, you said about ordering the club supplies. What exactly is that? Because, I mean, I have been secretary for some time. I purchase everything that I need, for example, ink and typing paper, whatever. But not that I would like to have it refunded, but I always say that these things should really be captured and put as expenditure.
Right.
And I don't think I've seen that being done. Like I said, and I would repeat, not that I would like to be refunded, but it is part of accountability.
Right. And I hear you, Lion. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I never got a response, but I keep purchasing my ink, my pen and everything
Right.
that I need to write notes. I have my folder and everything. And I really want to send that home, that I don't want a refund, but I think that these things should be recorded. Expenditure for office equipment or whatever. I
Right.
feel it should be recorded. That's what
Okay.
I have to say.
Right. So that's Lion Marine. So Lion Marine, thanks for that piece of information. And it all depends on your club. So Lion Marine, maybe you can start that ball rolling, because you know, you all could update your club policy manual, right? Where you all can vote on putting certain things into motion. For example, the secretary's expenses, especially if they're doing stuff, maybe like as you said, getting paper, ink, and whatever. Maybe that's something that you all could discuss as a club. And let's say the incoming secretary maybe I'm just saying $100 for the year to handle club expenses. So that would be something that would have to be treated in-house. Well, I'm seeing Lion Shabiki's hand is up, and I am welcoming any senior experienced Lions in the house. If you wish to share your information as being a previous secretary, please feel free to do so. So Lion Candace, I'm seeing Lion Shabiki.
Thank you, Line Linda, and excuse me for not turning on my camera. I just wanted to add, Line Linda, with respect to Line Maureen's question, what can be done if you have a budget? Your treasurer is supposed to present a budget at the beginning of the year. So that is an item that could be included in the budget, secretary's expenses. So that would take care of, you know, expenses incurred by the secretary. All right, just wanted to add that.
Great, thanks for that, Lan Shabiki. That is excellent. So, Marine, so you're gonna have to lobby for that. That's part of being a member of your club. Lobby for certain things, and you all, you know, put it into motion. All right.
Yeah,
Thanks for
because
that.
I've been a member for the past 22 years, and I cannot remember that area at
That
all.
happening. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So thank you very much, Lion
Okay.
Shabiki.
You're
Lion
welcome.
Maureen, you have some heavy hitters who are going to weigh in. Lion Linda, we have 2 hands raised. Pastor
Okay,
Sugar
sure.
Lion Sean Noel, followed by Lion Gloria Rollinson. Lion Sean.
Good evening, moderator. Good evening, Lion Linda. Good presentation so far. Two things I wanted to quickly add based on what you've been saying. Clubs can also include a club administrator, and that's one of the things that have been employed by some clubs who require additional support at the level of the secretariat, especially for posting their information up on LCI. So I just wanted to remind clubs of that in terms of utilizing the services of a club administrator. And usually it's a young lion who tech savvy, who can take all of the service projects and all the other things and post it online. Secondly, in relation to the financial aspect, one of the things about Lions clubs and generally service clubs like ours is that we use cash basis for our record keeping. Now, the Lion indicated just now that she really doesn't want back. She doesn't want a refund of the funds that she spent in her secretarial duties.
Right.
Now, but in terms of recording it, I just don't want clubs to think, well, or to get themselves convoluted in a way to put it in financially. It can be recorded in the minutes, number one. The secretary can say, well, look, I expended $1,400 to buy 2 reams of paper and a packet of pens. The minutes can handle that. To make the financial statement a little bit more complicated, especially if the person says they don't want a refund, we can have line items and everything else used in the budget and in the actuals to process things that persons want refunds for. But when the Lion says, I don't want a refund, but you want to account for it, I would say the minutes is the best place for doing that. Otherwise, you will have to do 2 line items in your treasurer's financial statement. One, receiving a donation from the member, a cash donation, and then the expenditure as the items that were purchased. But in that case, the member will have to hand over the bills and all of that. So it makes it a little bit more complicated. So I would just say have it recorded in the minutes, especially where the person does not want a refund. Thank
Okay,
you.
great. Thank you so much for that, Lanchon. Appreciate it. All right. So, Lanmarine, I hope that would have helped you a bit. So let's move on. So one of your other response. Yes, sorry.
One more contribution by Lion Gloria.
Sure.
Thank you, Lion Candice, and thank you, Lion Presenter. Good evening to everyone. The question that was asked relative to supplies, I think in addition to the requirements for the secretary in terms of note taking and, general administrative requirements, it is the secretary is responsible for ordering supplies from LCI
LCI,
for
yeah.
the club. For example, new member kits, pins and badges and gifts, tokens, certificates, things like that. And in some cases, some items, only the secretary could really access them, right?
Correct.
So that is, I think that point that was raised also relates to ordering of supplies from LCI. So that's the point I wanted to make. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Lion Gloria. Okay, great. So you see, we're getting that discussion going and we're learning from each other. So thank you so much, the persons who responded. Lion Candice, I can move on? No more questions?
No more questions, Lion Linda.
Okay, great. Thank you. So when it comes to processing newly inducted members, so you would have had new members to your club. Again, you need to update your membership and Lands portal. Ensure that you send a welcome letter to the new member. Ensure that you advise them about all pertinent information with regard to the club, your club number, their membership number, their zone. All of this would have shared in their orientation with your membership chair. But just in your welcome letter, you could summarize and make sure they remember these things, meeting times, etc. And another thing we need to share with them is the makeups that they could do if in case they miss a meeting or two. All right, so we can share with them because makeups could be done within a time limit from the day that you were absent from the meeting. All right, I think it's 13 days it's 14 days, yeah, where you have that within that time to report to the secretary that I would have attended this meeting or I would have been part of a service project so that they could get a makeup. Because remember, at the end, as secretaries, we have to look at the 100% attendance. And same thing as Lion Gloria just said, we are responsible for purchasing the 100% pins and so on, which we would award members at the end of the fiscal year. Okay, I don't know why my slides paused. Okay. Okay, Lion Candice. I don't know why my
arrow at the bottom or press enter. Enter on your keyboard.
Yeah, I don't know why maybe it's because I have my video on. Let me take the video off. Then if it's the bandwidth. Okay, probably I need to reshare. Stop and share again.
You could try that. If not,
Yes,
I will put it up for you.
Let me do that.
So in the meantime, any burning questions, feel free to place it within the chat. Thank you for all the senior officers, past officers who are chiming in the conversation with regards to the knowledge sharing. It's always good when we could come together and share the information and learn from each other. Making the plug in the interim, tomorrow we have the session on treasurers. It would be beginning at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Caribbean time. For those who may not have registered already, please take the opportunity to do so. All club secretaries current, This is an opportunity to send a reminder to your members for the incoming board, as well as those desirous for learning more about the position of treasurer, because as you know, is public funds you're dealing with here for your club. So you have to be on your P's and Q's, cross all your T's and dot all your I's. So knowledge is power. We're open to all persons interested in learning more about the various club officers' positions within their respective Lions and Leo clubs. So please share the registration info widely. Lion Linda, are you all right to proceed?
Not yet. Sorry, I don't know what's happening.
Would you like me to pull up?
Okay, I'm trying one more time.
Sure.
Okay, it seems as though, right. Yeah, I'm having difficulties on my end.
Okay, I'll pull it up.
Thank you. Okay, there we go. There we go. All right, good. So let's move right along. So in the first 30 days, what are you expected to do? So as the club secretary and the first 30 days, you need to prepare your documents and orient the incoming secretary. Okay, and you need to maintain the club roster. Dues are based on the club roster. Please remember that we have to, dues are expected, or Lions International would prepare dues based on your membership as of the 1st of July of the year and as of the 1st of January. All right, so if you have to drop a member so that you do not have to pay for additional members that you would have dropped, you should ensure that you drop the member by June, or to be safe, do it by May. Just make sure and get it done before July hits. Otherwise, you will have to pay the extra dues. And before you are billed in January, make sure you drop members by December to avoid that extra money, right? Set your calendar of events. So pay attention to the district and the multiple district events, as well as Lions International would have their international calendar of events. And sometimes what some clubs would do is they could use some of these events to do some celebrations or maybe some service activities, depending on what is being honored. All right. Make sure and monthly club and board meeting dates are set before. As I said, if you can send out a monthly reminder of activities to come, that would be great. So that members know if it's a virtual meeting, if it's a physical meeting, where we meeting, if the venue is the same, if we're meeting at the clubhouse, if, you know, the time, the date, those are very important. Send it at least the beginning of the month so they know what's happening in the district, what's happening internationally, right? Set up a system to be able to retain business records, members' information, committee reports. All of this is under your purview. So you have to ensure that these documents are filed and accessible. So if you have to pull something, so like, for example, one time a member said something wasn't documented in the minutes, and it was documented. So I was able to retrieve the minutes quickly, post it because it was a virtual meeting, so that the person would have seen, yes, it was documented. All right, so make sure you can have access to your files at a moment's notice. And also make sure that you record decisions and actions taken by the board, by the club, sorry, and well, mostly is the board of directors. And then the decisions made would be shared with the entire club membership. So sometimes in a meeting, you will have a lot of talk. Make sure don't include, well, we will discuss this later on with regard to your minutes. Okay. Oh gosh, there we go again. sticking. I don't understand what's going on this evening. Okay, there we go. Monthly task. So you need to look at managing correspondence that's coming in, prepare for club meetings, regular and board, prepare and store minutes of all meetings, remind members of upcoming events, and communicate with your zone and your region leaders. All right, so to ensure that what is happening, you already know, you have it, and you are sharing it with all your members. All right, so minutes. Minutes is very important, and I will come to that. Okay, Lion Candace?
Yes,
This
Lion.
computer is giving me some problems tonight. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'll pull it up for you.
Yes. Any questions so far, Lions, while we wait? Let me stop sharing, Lion Candace, so you can pull it up.
Thanks.
Right. So what I will do is let me continue while Lion Candace is pulling up the thing, because I don't want to waste time. All right, so we just spoke about our monthly task in the first 30 days. Now we're going on to our quarterly task. So every quarter, you are expected to attend zone and region meetings. And what I would like to say is try and get some members to go with you. All right, don't just you and the president attend these meetings. Empower your members, encourage them, right, to go out and network with other Lions and know what is happening in the various clubs and so on. Help the president to collate a comprehensive report, because this president usually have to report during these zone meetings. So make sure that you all have key information that would include membership attendance, service reports, special events that the club would have had, any fundraisers that were done, attendance, maybe give an idea of your attendance at any training, etc. So that's your quarterly task. What you have is your semi-annual task, where your focus, Lion Candace, you pulled it up already?
The presentation, yes.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, good. As I was just reading from my thing. Right. Okay, good. So semi-annual task, yes, focus on December and June. And as I said, review and update the club membership directory. And this is where you can apply for awards and the Club Excellence Award, most importantly, and we will discuss that later on. All right, annually.
Lion Linda, we're not hearing you.
Yes, hearing me now? So your nomination meeting usually comes off in March, and you have to announce this meeting. So usually there would be a committee set up which will be led by the nomination chairperson. And this meeting will come up in March. And then you have your election meeting in April. And report right after your election meeting, as soon as you can, a report incoming board officers and the positions that they will be holding for the upcoming year. Promote district and multiple district international conventions. As you all are aware, we have convention which happens usually in May, in the month of May, and it's usually in a different Caribbean island. And then we look forward to our international conventions, which usually happens in the month of end of June, July. All right, now if you once you go on in Lions International, you will be very much aware as to the different countries where the international conventions would be happening. And if we have, and most times we have, well, our district governors who are coming in, and it's always a nice idea to go out there and support and represent your club. So this information should be shared with your club members, because remember, with regard to these events, money is the key. So you want to make sure members are well aware of the event ahead, well, in advance. All right, register delegates for the convention. So this is very important. Now the new Lions portal has that area where you can see how many delegates you are allowed, whether it's for your district convention or your international convention. And there is an area where you can register your delegates. And they even give you a registration document, which you can now forward to the Lions so that they can take with them when they are going to the conventions. And most importantly, preparation for your charter event. This is where you would have your installation of officers for the incoming year. All right, so what we want to promote as club secretaries, promote all our club functions, club projects, club events, make sure and get your members to come out, empower them, motivate them, let them know the reasons why you'll be doing the project and why we should support even the district events, multiple district events, the regional Lions Club International Leadership Institutes. Now, this is opportunities for new Lions, for senior Lions to improve on their learning for leadership growth. It also helps you not just in Lionism, but in your daily life, where you learn a lot of life skills so you can apply it professionally and otherwise. And also promote your international conventions. So your meeting duties, and this is very important. Provide advance notice, which we would have said before. Make sure the minutes are done ahead of time. All right, make sure it's well done, and make sure you get it to members ahead of time so that they could review the minutes and they could, if there are any errors or omissions, they could alert you so that you can correct these minutes ahead of time. So what this does is, you know, you don't have to do this during your meeting time if you don't desire that. So this could be done ahead of time and you could spend the time discussing other fruitful matters. All right, of course, you will still go through the minutes very quickly, but for the most part, members would have read it before. Help your club president create the meeting agenda. We would have discussed that before. Forward correspondence to the appropriate chairpersons. So whatever you know you would have received and it would benefit whichever chairperson, committee chairpersons as well, forward it to them. And even the president, just in case he didn't get it. Take attendance of members and guests and announce if a quorum exists at the start of the meeting. Now, in most clubs, the quorum is usually half the membership plus one. In some cases, it might be the 2/3 of your membership. So whatever is your club policy with regard to the quorum, make sure that is happening before you go ahead and pass motions on your club minutes. And of course, during the meeting, well, now because of the benefits of Zoom and so on, you can record minutes, which makes it a lot easier so that, or you could take notes while the meeting is going on, and you can always review your recordings to make sure you're getting all the necessary information for your minutes. And also have new member kits available. Now, in this case, I don't necessarily mean the new member kits that you will give members when they're coming in as a newly inducted Lions. I'm talking about have some kits where if you have prospective Lions, you have a brochure, a pen or pencil, something, just to give them so that they can have an idea about your club, the history of your club, what is to be expected in minutes, a nice little brochure that they can take away that would encourage these new members to want to come back and want to be part of your club. Okay, so tips for taking minutes: record the type of meeting, date, place. Now, whenever, make sure and use people's first and last name of the person presiding, whether it's your president or if your first vice president is filling in, and make sure that that is documented in your minutes and when the meeting was called to order and adjourned. Now, why is it so important? First name and last name, very important with regard to what the person might be saying, what motion they might be bringing towards, and who would have adopted the president's report or the treasurer's report, or accepted the minutes, make sure and have first name and last name of the movers. Actions and motions, again, we don't want to record all the debates and discussions, all the craziness that may happen during a meeting. No, you want to make sure and document the pertinent information. What was the issue? What was the action taken? And so on like that. Leave out all the bantering and so on. Remember, this is a permanent and legal record of your club, so you got to keep it filed away properly where you can access them. All right, now it's very important if you're saving your files electronically, try and have a backup. All right, so what I usually do is I have the Google Drive, so I would save it there as well as I would have it on a stick, a flash drive. So you have your information in two places, as well as you can create folders in your email where you have your email and save some information there. So you always have access and you know where your information is. Okay, permanent files. So for example, which are very important that you need to have at hand as a club secretary, and you need to review these documents before you start your year, right? So your club charter, keep always and forever. This is for anniversaries and for reminiscing and so on. Your club constitution and your bylaws, this is very important. This is what guides the running of your club, right? And your policy manual, your club policy manual and so on. Make sure these are up to date. If it is your club, probably need to review, get your legal person on hand. Maybe you all can sit, review these documents and make sure you can include whatever you need to include. All right, and so it's a revised version. Have your club history safe. That's something that's very important. All right, so know where you came from, what, how, where, and where you're going. All right, what would have happened over the years. Minutes of your club, board of directors meeting, inclusive of treasurer's report, club audits documents. These are very important files that must be saved and be easily retrieved if necessary. Membership reports and service activity reports, also important to have and to share with members in case they ask. Membership directory, also very important to update when necessary, as often as you feel needed, especially if member is addressing concern about not receiving certain information, then you need to check up on your files and update them. Okay, so we reach a point where we have any questions so far, because we would have completed the responsibilities of the secretary. Now remember, what we're doing here in just a short hour and a half or 2 hours is just a summary, just a bit. Because when you realize how much information is out there and how much you have access to, you'll realize that this is just a drop in the bucket. All right, and you know, there are a lot that you can read up on your own and you can find out more about. All right, so any questions, comments at this time? Any senior experienced lion who would like to add any information or clarify or add to make sure the information is better understood for the other members?
So far, Linda, we don't have any questions in the chat.
People fall asleep.
No, they're very much awake and they're just taking in all the information.
Okay, great. So let's
hand is up.
Right, cool.
Thank you, Chair. I'm conscious that I don't want to be taking over the session, but
feel free to talk. Let us know.
Yeah, but I'm very appreciative of the information you presented. One, especially in relation to club history, and I say that because there are occasions when clubs reach significant milestones, and you find in a lot of cases you're scrambling to put together a document to reflect your club history. One of the good things that clubs do at their anniversaries, and if clubs don't do it, it's perhaps a good thing to practice. At your club anniversary, there's usually an agenda item where you do a recap of the history of the club, or in some cases, the president's reports. Those are good documents for keeping in some safe place so that when you're ready to do a 10-year booklet or a 25-year booklet or a 50-year booklet on your club, a lot of times you have to, oh my, who's the oldest member? We have to go back to locate that oldest member.
Yeah.
If we have the information stored somewhere, posted somewhere, filed somewhere, it's easy to compile a good history and we wouldn't get a lot of things incorrectly. So I want to drive home that point that you made about securing information, especially for recording your club's history. And let us really take that in a very important way. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Lion Sean. And just to add to that as well, if your club does not have a club history, there we go. We have something that you all could work on as a club for later on, or to have documented. So you all will have to do some research, get in touch with your members, try and talk to them and get that history going just in case you don't have it. Okay, thanks, Lion Sean. Any more questions, Lion Candice?
Yes, Lion Linda, we have one from Lion Melissa Borrell. How can incoming secretaries deal with club culture?
Good. That's a whole presentation by itself.
I agree, girl.
Okay, well, the thing is, club culture. And the thing is, who make this club culture? It's the people, right? The people are the ones, the members are the ones who make the culture. Now, for me personally, I am a person who will head on. If I see something, I will go to you, of course, in a manner that is respectful. I would watch my tone, all right? And I will speak to the relevant member, or maybe depending on what the matter is, right? However, that is just one way. Another strategy, another thing that is really important is if you have club team building exercises, which usually helps, because sometimes what happens in a club, perception is a hell of a thing. Sorry to use the word hell, because sometimes we just have our perception of what we think or who we think the person is, or what we think the person is doing, or we just observing, and you really don't know the person. The only way to really know people is to really chat and get to know them. And the thing is, so if you do some club building, team building activities, maybe you can get someone to come into the club and talk about and speak to that same type of, creating positive club cultures, something like that. Maybe you can get in someone who is professional or in the field to do that. Maybe just somebody within your club as well, because somebody would have some experience with that, and they could run you all could run your own little team building exercise. Or what you can do too, just before meetings, well, I see Lion Candice with club retreats, and that's excellent. That's an excellent strategy as well. And what you can have maybe before meetings begin, do something like what I did this evening, a little icebreaker. Just something that will give a sense of cohesiveness among the members, get you all to open up and get you all to share with different members, But the thing is, sometimes that change in your club culture may take time. And it all depends on what strategies you put in place to try and, get more cohesiveness within your club. So I don't know if some of those strategies are something that you all could probably try, or that could happen to maybe help or curb the club culture, depending on if, well, I guess in this case, it might be a negative one. All right, so yeah. Anybody else who wanted to speak to that? Oh, we got a thank you. So I guess she's okay with the response. All right, thank you. Lion Candice, we could stop sharing. Let's just go into the new Lions portal very quickly, so that we're almost through Lions. We are already in our third objective, where we're going to look at Lions Club International and the new Lions portal.
Hi, sorry, good night. My name is Makeda Swift. I had some problems logging in, so I was just able to come on. I don't know if it will be recorded to send. I'm not sure. I'm very nervous there, by the way, so the silence making me more nervous.
Good evening, Lion Makeda. Yes,
Good evening.
the session is being recorded, and
Okay.
all sessions, once we complete the week-long activity of the incoming
Right.
training
May the
would be
28th, yes.
uploaded. Yes, it would be
Okay.
uploaded on the respective district websites.
Yeah.
So you would
Okay.
have access to the information.
I want to second to agree with what was said before in regards to team building exercises. It worked well yesterday. I was actually on the VP and president's meeting, and we had a lot of exercises to do, and it was good to meet other people and just kind of engage with them then, you know? It was nice. For somebody who's very introverted, you know, it was nice. It was
Thank
really
you
good.
so much for that feedback.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
appreciate you
Okay,
being
thank
here.
you. Yes.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, that's really
Well, not
awesome.
bye-bye.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really awesome. Yeah. Team building exercises, little icebreakers just before a meeting really works
Yeah.
wonders. Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks for sharing that.
Thank
Great.
you. Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah. So members, so we have to embrace the new Lions portal. And for those of you who have not, well, it's still under construction. They keep saying that. So they're still trying to work out the kinks and try to make sure that everything is functioning properly. But I would suggest, as the incoming secretary, work with your outgoing secretary to try and understand this portal better. Now, what is fabulous is you see, and they try to put everything in one, the My Lion and well, the other areas into one portal, as you can see here, right? So you have your membership, you have your club where you can access details and so on. You have the association and you see, welcome to the Lions portal. Now, what would have been sent? That would have been sent by the district or Lions International. I can't remember because I would have forwarded to our incoming board already with regard to how to access the Lions portal. So if you already have a Lions account, then it will be very easy for you to access it. And if you don't, you may have to register before you're able to access the Lions portal, right? Now, what is very helpful, because when the first time I tried to post the incoming officers, I had a bit of a challenge, and the training videos are very, very helpful. Okay, and so you could, if I click on the videos, you will see, and you could run through it. So if you have two devices, you use one to access the videos, and you work on the site on your computer. All right. So I was trying to pull it up, but I figure it's my internet giving trouble. All right. So right. So here we have it. So the Lions portal. So you have all these how new club management, viewing your membership details. They're very thorough. That's one thing I like about Lions Club International. They're very thorough and they pay attention to details. You have service activities, how to report, how to assign delegates, which I would have used. I used the new Lions portal to do that recently for our delegates for district and for our upcoming international. And if we go into, let me see, membership. Let's go into membership. All right, everybody's seeing so far? It's very exciting. This new portal is very exciting. So you all need to get on board and go through it, learn a couple of things. You don't necessarily, well, I don't know how much you will be able to see, because that's the other thing. With some of the information, if you're a member, if you're a club officer, or even if you're a district officer, there are certain things that you may have access to that a regular member may not. All right, so that's another thing to look into. All right, I'm not seeing, let me see, membership now. All right, so I'm not going to go into everything here. I just want you all to have an idea what it looks like, and that there are ways, there are things you can do to help yourselves. All right, let me go into my club, right? They have a service where you can email them, and they're very prompt with responding to you. So you can email them to get information as it may be, because I think with this new Lions portal, we are no longer going to upload. We don't have to report membership every month. All right, so that is no longer a thing. So here we go. We have manage your club members, manage club officers, manage your delegates, view your delegates. So we have different things that you can go to, view your club officers. All right, so let's look into manage club members. So you see, if you want to add a new member, you click on add new and you click next. And then you see, you just fill in the information. So it's very easy to follow, fill in just make sure you have the information beforehand. If you want to edit a member, so let's try edit. So that is something I did the other day, and I was trying to figure out how to make the person affiliate, because some people would have changed from affiliate to privilege. And so I figured it out. So it's just a matter of figuring it out. So you click on the let's say Babulal, you click on that and you click next. You see, very, 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 to me, it's very user friendly. All right. And okay, well, I don't want to play around with it too much tonight. So we will come out of it, but just for you all to get a sense of the new Lions portal. By a show of hands, how many of you have already accessed it? You went in, you take a look, you're figuring out things. Can I see a raise of hands?
Ooh, we have plenty.
Well, that's fabulous. Yeah. Okay, so that is awesome, Lion Candace. That's great. So the thing is, I'm going to stop sharing because this just going through the new Lions portal could take, that's another presentation on its own. All right, but what I want to say is the videos are very hands-on, they're very easy to understand, and then you have the support of the tech team. So you can send them an email, you can call, they have various ways to contact them, and they respond to you in a timely manner. All right, so there we go. Any questions on the new Lions portal? Don't be afraid of it. Learning in
Yes,
progress.
Lion Linda.
Yes.
Lion Linda, Lion Maureen here.
Hi.
I tried entering new member information. And when I got to her date of birth, it gave me the date of the month. And it would not take the lady's date of birth at all. I don't know why. So I just gave up. It showed me the calendar. And it put the date of the calendar. So I just gave up. I said, look, I want to talk. You know, sometimes I would call Lions International direct if I have an issue.
Right.
But I don't know what. I did it several times and it's not entering her date of birth. It entered the date that I entered the other information.
Right.
So I think I have a problem there.
Okay, well, let's just
see?
quickly see, because I don't want us to go
Add
over
new
time.
member.
Yeah, so let's see.
Add new member. So I put
date of
all of
birth,
that.
right?
When I put date of birth,
right.
it showed me the calendar and it put May 2024. That is what it put. Whatever
Oh, it
date
has
it
the
was.
date. So you'll probably have to maneuver it
Yes.
to move around to see, because look, it's
I
moving
did
to
it.
April and so on. All right. So what you
But
will have to do,
But then
yeah,
she wasn't born this year.
of course, yeah. So that's probably one of the kinks they will have to work on, because I'm not seeing it properly on my screen. Let me see. Let me try
Lion
again.
I think I would.
Yes.
I think I
Lion
would have
Linda
to
and
give them
Lion
a.
Oh, look
Maureen.
at here. Look at here. So it have the year. You see, you have the down arrow. So you can click on the
Okay.
year. You see right up here next to the 2024, you have the down arrow. So you can click, let's say,
Jolly good. Jolly good. I see why it was not
2000.
entering.
Right. And then you could click to do your months and so on, right?
Okay,
Okay, yeah. So
right.
it's just a matter
praise
of
God.
playing around with it. Just a
Yeah,
matter
praise
of,
God. Praise God. Every other thing I got through it, but I now see why, because probably it's because it's so small.
yes, yes, yes. All right. So it's very, very hands-on. So we could all get it.
Yeah, okay.
Just over
Right.
time, you would
Thanks a
get it.
lot for that.
You're welcome. Right. Blind Candice, you could pull back up so we can wrap up. We just have 2 or 3 slides to go.
Sure, Lion Linda. While I pull it up, seeing that you could see the chat, please communicate Lion Gloria Rollinson's contribution with regards to the club secretary expenses.
Okay. All right, club supplies, right. Line Gloria, let me see. Right. Club retreats, right. We did all of that already.
Straight down to the bottom is the last comment.
Okay, I lost it. When you pulled up the thing. Like, go back into the chat. Right.
They said they're not doing the photos as yet. Somebody's asking about photos.
Do you know if we are now able to post photos? All right. So no, I can't say for sure. I guess when the service chairperson does a presentation on Saturday, you will probably get more information on that. Lion Candace, I'm not seeing her message. All right, yes, article that is 9. Yes, of section 5, the Roman numeral, yes, of the standard club constitution reads as follows. No officer shall receive any compensation for any service rendered to the club in their official capacity, with the exception of the secretary, whose compensation, if any, shall be fixed by the board of directors. This enables the secretary's expenses to be catered for. Oh, excellent. Thank you very much, Lion Gloria, for that. And yes, because we did mention that that is something, Lion Shibiki would have mentioned it, that is something we could put in the club's expenses, as well as we could make it part of our club policy, right? So that is something you all could look into, revise your club policy and see what, you know, based on the recommendation of our international club policy to implement such an expense for the secretary. Yes, thank you so much, Langoria. All right, so let's move right along.
One moment, Lion Linda, Lion Sherwin, Greenwich, hand is raised. Lion
Okay,
Sherwin.
great. Sure.
I was just commenting that I'm surprised that many clubs don't have that in their policies, because that was around for a while, making provisions for the expenses of secretaries.
Yeah, true. Well, our club has it. I don't mean to show off a little bit, but we have it. So that's something you guys will definitely have to look into. Okay, so like Candace, let's move right along. There are no more questions. So we went through the last already. And posting in officers. Well, I didn't show you all that, but it is also there on the portal. Let me apologize for my dog in the background. Sorry about that.
The slide on service activities is up, or did I go too far?
Right. So let's get into the service activities now. As I said, I'm not going to spend much time on this because this will be covered by the service person on Saturday. But just to remind you that as the club secretary, we have to liaise with the key members so that we can ensure that service activities are reported on time. And now that we have the new Lions portal, we have to be accurate with it, to make sure that we get all the information updated as precise as possible. And service activity should show the productivity. It shows the productivity, the productivity of the club, which would include type of service project, volunteer hours, number of persons served, etc. So this is important as a club secretary to make sure that that is done, okay? Because that is what will show up your club. That is what will show what you're doing. And that's important also for the zone chair and the region chair to be aware of. So club recognition depends on you. And your Club Excellence Award can be achieved. It's very, very, well, I don't want to say easy, because, you know, it takes work to get certain things done. But the Club Excellence Award is an ideal way to set your club on the path to continued success. while gaining prestige for excelling in the areas of membership, service, leadership, and organizational excellence and marketing. All right, so on the next slide, we'll see. Right, so these are some of the key areas. Now, I should say that you and your incoming secretary could work with you on this, because the deadline for this is in August. All right, so you have to look in to see if you meet the requirements, and if they are very clearly stated in on the Lions platform. So if you look, you will see all the areas under membership, service, etc., right? Marketing, so that you can have an idea if your club meets the requirements. And what you can do too is to have an idea of the requirements. So, you know, when you're setting up for your year, your fiscal year with your president and your club, you could try to get in some of these projects and try and aim for some of these categories, so that Club Excellence Award will be easily attained. Yes? Right. So these are for this year. Applications are due by August 31st, and it should be sent to, you have the email there, and it have all the steps that we should follow to make sure and send the information to the relevant persons, so that you can attain that Club Excellence Award. And some other awards, as we would have stated before. I hope I spelled Chevron correctly. I didn't check that, but it looks very correct. The Chevrons Awards and 100% PIN attendance. These are also important for the secretary to keep up to date with, so that when it comes to your anniversary event, the day of installation, some of these awards can be given out at that time, if you have it. And sometimes you have to wait until the fiscal year to get those pins. All right, so if you can get them before, that would be great. If not, you can always give those awards on later on. Yes? Right. So we have covered lots of information today, and some of which we did not do because it's a lot. Your best advice is to use all the online training that is available to you. And I also want to say here, be prepared to reach out to other fellow Lions, right? As I said, I don't ever feel I know it all. I am always ready to ask a question, to call on someone, you know, get feedback. All right, because this is what will help you to become a better secretary or a better president or a better whatever role you are in. All right, so get the help you need, and to be able to be successful in your year as secretary. All right?
Yeah. That's the next question.
Right, so additional resources, as I said, Lions International would have sent the club secretary, they would have sent all the handbooks needed for the incoming officers, because I would have forwarded these to the relevant persons in my club already. So download the handbook or use it online, whichever is convenient for you, and be aware of all that the secretary needs to do, right? Visit the Lions Learning Center. Those, when I tell you, the online platform, they are real interesting, plenty information, you know, that, and remember, it's not just for Lionism. You can use a lot of this information in your professional life, right? Club quality initiative, your club, your way, plan for your club success guide, plan for your club success PowerPoint. There's loads of information that you can access to help you in your role as secretary this fiscal year. All right, so just to review the objectives, so we would have looked at characteristics of the club secretary. We looked at responsibilities of the club secretary, and those were many, that's major. We looked at an overview of the new Lions portal, which is still under construction, but very user-friendly, so get familiar with it. And then we also look at all the resources that are available for you to make your year an easier year. All right. And finally, I hope that today's presentations would have met your expectations. And I hope that you would have learned something new that you can take away to help you with your role as secretary this year. And fellow Lions, at this point, I want to wish you all the best. I wish you an exciting year as the secretary for your club. And I hope that you lead your club this year with enthusiasm and positivity, and everything will be well. Thank you so much for your indulgence this evening.
Thank you so very much, Lion Linda. We have an opportunity for questions and answers here. Final call for it before we get into the usual logistics of the after meeting care part of the program. So feel free to raise your hands, or you can place your questions within the chat box. Please don't run off. We do have a evaluation survey. Remember, we're giving opportunity for Lions to serve in this capacity as facilitators, and we need the feedback to share with them. The good, what's the word I'm looking for, boy? Constructive criticism. You know how it goes.
Lan Candace, I just want to share with Lananisa. Lananisa, being anxious is okay, you know. That's all right. You'll get there. You'll get it. Anxiety sometimes is good.
Any other questions? Lion Maureen, you have
Lion Maureen again. Sorry to ask so many questions.
That's okay,
I
Lion
wanted, one of the members wrote me asking about her 10-year chevron, that she's now 13 years and she did not get any. But I have been there for some time, over 20 years, and I myself not getting any. Someone advised me to write to Lions International. What is the advice?
Well, Lion Marine, well, I know we got ours this year when our district governor visited. So I'm not too sure. Yeah, the district governor would have distributed ours at her last club visits. So yes, Lan Candace, go right ahead.
I know they do it in increments. So 10-year, you're supposed to qualify for a chevron, and then they will go from 10 to 15. The chevrons are sent directly to the sitting district governor and then dispatched to the respective zone chairs and region chairs. So within that line there in your district, once you would have qualified for your chevron, someone would have it. Also, as with everything, errors do occur, and this is why the responsibility is on the secretary for ensuring that the correct information is inputted on the respective Lions portal, because that is where international draws down on the information in order to dispatch the respective chevrons for whatever year the Lion qualifies for.
Yes, correct.
Well, I got 10. I never got 15. I never got 20. So I don't know what's happening.
Yes. Well, we definitely.
So if we can share here, the chevrons are sent to the district governor for distribution
I
to the
also
clubs.
spoke with the district governor, but I didn't get a response. Not Nayan Shabiki, before that. And I did not get a response.
Okay, well,
So normally that deals with because the records might not be correct at international, and sometimes, as you heard Linda indicate, sometimes the secretary does not do his or her duties correctly, and then the information is not shared with international, and there's an expectation from the member, like you are having that expectation, but then it's not forthcoming because the information is not there.
Well, I have been the secretary and for a little while, and other persons are receiving their chevrons. We just had 3 persons receive their chevron about a week or 2 ago.
So
And
my suggestion would too is to rate international, and they'll be able to
yes,
respond to you as to the what has
okay,
happened or to the
Good
information that is there.
evening.
And if there is a hole, then you can fill the hole by providing them with the relevant information.
okay. Thank you very much for your advice.
You're welcome.
Okay, if I may say something. Good evening. My name is Power, Clarendon Power from Paramaribo, Suriname. I've been secretary for several years, and what I remember that you get a chevron for 10 years, for 20 years. I got lately my 20 years chevron. I heard a fellow saying he didn't get for 15 years, but I don't remember that there is one for 15 years. You can all look up at the shop, the LCI shop, which chevrons and which member keys are available. So from that point, you can communicate with the district governor or at a higher level with international to obtain the keys or the chevrons for your member. Yes?
Thank you so much for that contribution. We have Lion Carl Boncampo hand raised. Lion Carl.
Yes, good evening again. The question I had, because we mentioned about reporting obligations and stuff at LCI, but what I missed a bit is what obligations do we have towards the district, particularly in reporting either membership treasury or the activity report.
Lion Linda, you want to take that one?
Oh, I didn't get that. Sorry. Say that again. Sorry, Mike. I was a bit distracted. Could you repeat it for me, please?
What responsibilities do you have with fulfilling report submission on the district level? Is that correct, Lion Carl?
Yeah, that was the gist of it. Thanks.
Reporting information at the district level. Well, what I do know is that all information that we have at our club level is supposed to report it to the zone chair. And the zone chair is supposed to now forward her reports to the district governor. Well, the district governor team. That's what I am aware of. Except if it's information that was requested directly from the district governor team that the information is required to be sent to them. But otherwise, I know the reports are supposed to be done by the president and given to the zone chair. But I see Lisa's hand is raised, so maybe she'll be able to share more on that.
Thank you very much, Lion Linda, and congratulations on an excellent session this evening. I just want to endorse what you just said. So there are usually at least 3 zone advisory meetings over the fiscal year. And for that, usually the zone would send the club, and it would be the president and the secretary, I'd imagine, would get together and complete. Usually there are some questions that are asked about the challenges and the opportunities and the membership and LCIF and all of that. And that's the kind of report that would be provided before the zone advisory meetings. And that information is collated by the zone chair for the district governor. So those are the 3 main reports, if you want to call it that you can look forward to. Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Lion Linda.
Yes, thank you, Lisa.
If I may just add on to that, I have been a secretary before, and back in the day, at least, I recall that there was on the district website an area to go in and do monthly reporting. Is that still the case, as I had not been on the board in this last year? Is that still the case, or has that been done away with?
Okay, so thank you for that question, because I was looking for it in May when it was time to send in to report, to do the monthly membership report. And I was like, well, I'm seeing the new portal. And I was like, where is this thing? And I looked and I looked and I looked. And then I wrote to them and they did say that it stopped. Right? We no longer have to report monthly membership. But again, I keep reminding you all, just make sure that everything on your Lions portal, sorry, with regard to your membership is accurate and on point. All right? Yeah.
We have Lion Sherwin's hand raised.
Thank you, Elaine Candice. Yes, Elaine Carroll, previously, as we couple of years prior, 1 or 5 years prior, yes, a lot of reporting was done at a district level. But then it was recognized that that was a duplication because you were required to report at the district level and you were also required to report at international. So what district governors have done is to pull the information from international. So we ask that you report international and then the international site will be checked to see who will be reporting. And over the last couple of years, Scum International have been sending reports to district governors. So you get a report every month, a health report, which gives you how your club is reporting, whether or not they're reporting on the projects, anything with membership. So the district governor use that information to share with the region and zone chairs so that clubs who are not reporting their service projects or who are not paying their dues or not updating their membership, then the zone chairs could then speak with those present to ensure that they comply. But we now report only at international, and the district governors will pull their reports for what is on the international site.
Thank you, Lion Sherwin. I just want to add something that Lion Angela would have stated in the chat, where she said zone chairpersons also have access to the information shared by the club secretaries on the Lions portal, which is correct. So your zone chairs and your region chairs can see everything that's happening within your club and in the district. Well, yeah, with the different clubs under their care.
Lion Linda, we have one final question here in the chat from Lion Marcia Umsby. Is it only service projects to be reported or other club events, example, club anniversary events, attendance at zone and region meetings, etc., should also be reported?
So I don't want to give away too much because remember we have this session on service reporting happening on Saturday. And I am well aware that my colleague is raring to go. So I don't know if you would like to wait until that day to get the information on the service reporting, because everything will be fully explained on that day. Yes?
Behind the scenes, I did grant her the opportunity to ask one question. So you can answer it today. She has been alerted that the service chairperson session is coming on May 25th, and it's going to be a pretty dynamic session.
Yes.
Thank you, then, Candice. I was going to indicate those persons who have those burning questions on service, wait until that session, because that session is going to be very, 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 very good. On the person who's delivering it is well versed, who have done their homework, and I believe that a lot of these questions will be answered during that session. So all those persons with burning questions, stay tuned for the service chair session and make sure that you log on.
Yes, absolutely.
Register and log on. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, all right. With there being no further questions, this is your last call. We're going to do the wrap up. Lion Wendell, in the essence of time, if you could launch the evaluation poll while I give my gratitude and appreciation to all. Please, everyone, take the opportunity to complete this evaluation poll that is going to be launched here, the training survey. We have our question, only about 10.
It should be on the screen by now.
Yes, it is.
All
but
right.
It is for me. So if you can take an opportunity to complete it, I would appreciate that greatly.
Thank you.
Thank you once again to all those involved in the background that assisted to make this session possible. Lion Paula Raphael, Wendell Bompart, Lisa Wickham, To the facilitator, Lion Linda Babulal, you did an excellent job. Always an avid learner, thank you for imparting your knowledge and experience with us today. I know many of the Lions logged on would have captured several nuggets to take with them to perform their duties in the incoming fiscal year. To the multiple district GLT team, thank you for your continuous work and support in the background. To the audience, you have been great, especially those brave souls willing to ask the questions live, and to all the Lions who would have supported in the chat and contributed and added valuable pieces of information to support the learnings being shared today. We thank you for your participation and interactions. Once again, a reminder that tomorrow is our treasurer's session. The registration link has been shared in the chat. We will share it again. And for those that were interested in the Leo session, that is currently being circulated within your respective districts. Please share it with your Leos so that they too can get in on the action and learn more about their roles coming in the new fiscal year. Lion Wendell, how are we looking in terms of
we have 32% of the participants answering. We have 93% taking part, 35, 36. Sorry, the numbers are going up, 38.
Have some momentum.
Yes.
So Lion Marcia, I hope you have registered for the service chairperson session and come with all your questions. They would be all answered live and in the chat.
Thank you. Actually, I didn't register for that one, but now I will.
Yes, please register.
You're going to be everything can be shared. Everything can be shared.
I like that. I like that mentality.
All right, we had 56%.
So we're only at 50% in terms of the participants. Remember, feedback is important. You would have received from the facilitator and the multiple district team. There's always room for improvement. Please grant us your answers so that we can serve even better for you. Yes, Lion Clarrington, you have a hand raised?
Yes. I have a question regarding the portal. She says it is still under construction. When is it, the real version available? The active. Is it known?
Lion Clarrington.
Yes, of course. What do you mean? Yes.
Yes. I was wondering.
Apparently,
when is the portal live? On the construction now.
I think sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, because I heard remarks like birthdays are not correct in it, and as acting secretary at the moment, I did my best to have birthdays on the form. Indeed, I heard now that some of them are not in the correct way, and I wonder when is the portal live? The real, yeah.
Right. So just to add, she didn't say that the information was incorrect on the portal. I think she was trying to figure out how come, if it was something to do with her birth date. So far, based on what I would have seen, the information very much correct. Yes, like any new website that is being created, it will take some time for them to ease out the kinks. Based on their response to me via email, I remember seeing somewhere around August, end of August. That's what I would have seen in my email with regard to hopefully getting the new portal really on the ground running, because they're still trying to complete some stuff on it, the construction of it. Yeah. But then again, we have to continue to wait for the information that would come to us and then share with your club. I hope that that would have answered your question.
Thank you, indeed.
Okay.
We're looking forward. Yes.
Yes, definitely.
We
Good
just have to have a
evening.
little extra patience. The same
All
thing
right.
occurred with the last changeover to My Lion. And then eventually they worked out the things.
All right, Lion Candace, we have, yes, we have just about 87% completed all the questions. And I think the last question, which is the text, how could this workshop be improved? Of course, that taking a little time. So we're only on 39%. So most persons are on that question. And we're just waiting for them to complete, right? Because that is not multiple choice, that is text. You have to enter your comment.
So no problem. I'll just do my announcements again. So tomorrow, be it Friday, we have treasurers, a great presenter coming on board, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Caribbean time. On Saturday, we have multiple sessions running, one after the other. Please ensure you're logged on, starting with service chairpersons at 12 noon Eastern Caribbean time, followed by membership chairpersons at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Caribbean time, and then Leo advisors at 5 p.m. Eastern Caribbean time. Then we end with Tamers and Tail Twisters at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Caribbean time. We move on to Sunday, starting at 2 p.m. Eastern Caribbean time with committee chairpersons. Each one of us as a Lion would have served as a committee chairperson. This is one to tap into. You're going to get a lot of valuable information there. And then we have at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Caribbean time, our LCIF coordinator session. Rounding it off for Sunday's training, marketing and communication chairperson at 7 p.m. Eastern Caribbean time. And the bonus, especially for Leos, would be on Tuesday, the 28th of May, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Caribbean time. The link for registration for the Leo session would have been shared today and will continue to be shared for the rest of the week so that we could capture our Leos for that session.
All right, Lion Candace, see, we have stopped at a certain number for a while. I don't know if folks would have dropped off and not finished the last question. Yeah, but
First to note, we put the last question first.
yeah, let me just ask if you're actively answering the last question. Could you just raise your hand so we could give you a little more time? And if we don't see a raise of hands, that would mean that everybody is done with the survey.
No hands as yet.
All right, well, we'll be closing the survey in 30 seconds. So Lion Candace, you could do your wrap up if you haven't done so yet, or your final wrap up for the wrap up.
My final words for this evening are, you have been a great audience. Thank you for participating. Have a wonderful evening all. See you tomorrow.
Same to